So today I'm going to talk about worry. I'm going to try and keep it very, very brief. In a nutshell, worry is a pretty useless thing to do, but it's something that we all do. We are all vulnerable to worrying from time to time, but some of us worry more than others. And if you think that you are worrying to an unhelpful degree, then this might well be the clip for you to listen to. So worry is very future focused, and for that reason, it's actually quite unhelpful. Because usually we are too far ahead of ourselves. We are not in the here and now. We are thinking about the prospect of something going wrong. So if we make it into an equation, very often when people are worrying, they are overestimating the threat of something happening or going wrong, and they are also underestimating either their ability or somebody else's ability to cope if something goes wrong. So it's a little bit like you're sitting in a rocking chair, contemplating all of the things that might go wrong and the fact that either you or somebody else won't be able to cope very well. And you're not actually going anywhere, you're not achieving anything by sitting, doing this worrying behaviour. Arguably, sitting in a rocking chair is a bit more pleasant than actually worrying. So basically what you're doing is you're what-ifing. What if? It's always what if scenarios. So if you're ever sitting having a conversation with somebody who is worrying, it's what if. And they get on the what if train and they go from carriage to carriage. So what starts off as a small what if, like what if I don't hear my alarm tomorrow? Well, what would be so bad about that? Is it the end of the world? Well, it would mean that I might miss my bus. Okay, what would be so bad about that? I would arrive at work late. What if I annoy the manager? What if the manager then decides to get rid of me? What if I then can't pay my rent or my mortgage? What if I then end up homeless? And you can see how a small what if ends up escalating as you've worked your way through the what if train, going from carriage to something quite catastrophic, which quite probably won't happen. And that's what you have to remember. It probably won't happen because ironically, bad things happen all of the time, but usually it isn't the thing that we're worrying about that goes wrong. So the purpose of this clip is not just to describe what worry is, it's also to think about how will I manage my worrying moving forward. Like I say, we all do it. We are all vulnerable to worrying from time to time. But key number one is learn to recognize when you're worrying. So learning to recognize it, notice it. One of my favorite expressions, just notice it. So you notice that you're worrying. I'm doing that again. You notice it with compassion. You don't beat yourself over the head about it. You just go, I'm worrying. This is what I'm very good at doing. You recognize that you're doing it. And when we're worrying, we are being very future focused. We're ahead of ourselves. So we bring ourselves back into the present moment. And we ask ourselves, do I have a problem right now? Do I have a problem? Or am I making a prediction? If you are making a prediction, you're ahead of the game, too far ahead of the game. If you have a problem, you problem solve. So you're asking yourself, I'm worrying right now. Do I have a problem? Am I making a prediction? If you're making a prediction about something that hasn't actually happened, you bring yourself back to the present moment. So you go, okay, I'm making a prediction. This hasn't actually happened yet, so I can't problem solve. I need to just leave it there. I need to bring myself back into the here and now and do something that is very present focused, where I'm a bit distracted from getting too far ahead of myself. If I have a problem, so if I end up going out to my mailbox and I open up a bill and I've got a massive gas bill and I don't have the money in the bank, I've got a problem. And I need to go into problem solving action mode, which The thing to remember is we are all very capable of going into problem solving mode. Sometimes problems are incredibly big, they're difficult to resolve, but at least when we are in problem solving mode, we can go about using our resources and thinking of a way. So for example, if it was a bill that we couldn't afford to pay, we might contact the energy provider, we might reach out to family and friends, we might raid our savings if we're lucky enough to have any. There are always things that we can do. There are people and resources that we can reach out to. So if you've got a problem, you think, how do I manage this problem? You call upon the resources that you have available. But if you recognize that what you're worrying about is a future prediction, you need to leave it there. Okay? You leave it there, you bring yourself back into the here and now. So give it a go. Let me know how you get on and enjoy the rest of your day.